Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, I will explain chapter number 5, life processes, subject science, biology part, class 10, Cbse board. First, we'll study what is meant by life processes. So here, 3-4 definitions I have written. First, the processes which together perform the function of maintenance of life are called life processes. Life processes are essential activities required for an organism's optimal well-being and proper functionality. So in other words, we can say the maintenance function of living organism must go on even when they are not doing anything. The process which together perform this maintenance job are life processes. So whenever living things are not doing anything, then also the processes which must run to the maintenance of living things, and that processes are called life processes. There are 4 different life processes: nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion. First, nutrition. Nutrition means energy is needed for the maintenance process. First thing, energy is needed, and energy we get from nutrition process. And the nutrition means digestion of food we eat. Second process is respiration, breathing. Breathing is just part of respiration. Respiration is main process. So in respiration, oxygen is taken from the outside and use it in the process of breakdown of food resources for different cellular needs. So oxygen is taken, food is taken in the body from outside, which is collected at one place in the body. But it is to be transported to all parts of the body, and energy what we get from the food should be supplied to the each and every part of the body. For this, transportation system is necessary. That is called transportation process. Now, when digestion takes place or nutrition process happens, respiration process happens or takes place, chemical reactions are carried out. When chemical reactions are carried out, there should be a generation of byproduct. These byproducts are useless and harmful to the body, and that should be removed from the body. The process of removal of byproducts from the body is called as excretion. In the next session of video, we will see these processes in detail. Thank you for watching the video. If you like it, please do share it and subscribe for the more such fruitful videos. Hello friends, in this video we will study first life process, that is nutrition. Nutrition gives living thing energy. Energy is needed to maintain state of order in living thing. Living thing require some material from outside in order to grow, develop and synthesize protein and other substances needed in their bodies. This source of energy and the material is whatever food we eat and whatever food living thing get. Now, how living things get their food? Some living things use simple food material obtained from inorganic sources in the form of carbon dioxide and water. These are the autotrophs, and they include green plants and some bacteria. Other organisms utilizes complex substances. These complex substances have to be broken down into simpler ones. before they can be used for the upkeep and growth of the body. To achieve this, organisms use biocatalysts called enzymes, or we can say biological catalysts, enzymes. Now, what do we know from this? Heterotrophs survival depends directly or indirectly on autotrophs. Heterotrophic organisms include animals and fungi. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will study autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophs are the producers, that is plants. Plants require carbon and energy for their survival. Also, they produce food for heterotrophs. Autotrophs fulfill their need of carbon and energy by the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process in which autotrophs take in substances from the outside and convert them into stored form of energy. This material are carbon dioxide, water, sunlight. In process of photosynthesis, by using carbon dioxide and water, plant converts them into the carbohydrates in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Carbohydrates are utilized for providing energy to the plant. The carbohydrates which are not used, they are stored in the form of starch, which is served as internal reserve energy, which is used as and when required by the plant. Desert plant take carbon dioxide at night because of transpiration process. Now we will study photosynthesis reaction. Here chemical reaction is written 6 CO2, 6 molecules of CO2 plus 12 molecules of H2O. They react with each other in presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. It is converted into glucose C6H12O6 plus oxygen and water is released. So what happens during photosynthesis reaction? First, absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll takes place. Second, as this is the chemical reaction, conversion of light energy to chemical energy takes place. Also, splitting of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen takes place. Third, reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates takes place. So this will happen during the process of photosynthesis, and this is the photosynthesis reaction. Now here cross section of leaf is shown, and here zoom section is taken and enlarged section of this part is shown here. Here you have some tissues, waxy cuticle, upper epidermis, lower epidermis, air spaces, guard cells, and see these are the dots. These dots are nothing but chloroplast, and these chloroplasts contain chlorophyll, which is used during process of photosynthesis by the plant. Chlorophyll has green color Now, as we seen, carbon dioxide and water is taken inside in the plant. How they take? All these atoms are taken through leaf, stem, and root. But maximum gaseous exchange is done through the stomatal pore. Stomata means leaves. See the figure A, figure B. These are the guard cells. This is stomatal pore, which is open condition. Here stomatal pore is closed condition. When stomatal pore is open, there is high exchange of gases occurs in the plant. This is closed condition. When stomatal pores are closed, no gaseous exchange occur through stomata. Now, to make this stomatal pore open and close is the function of guard cells. When water flows into the guard cell, they swells, and because of swelling process, this stomatal pores open like this. When guard cell contracts, loses water, the stomatal pores close, and this is the closed situation of stomatal pore. Now, water used in the photosynthesis is taken up from the soil also by the root in terrestrial plant. Other material than carbon dioxide and water, nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, magnesium, they are taken up from the soil, from the manure. Nitrogen is essential element which is used in the synthesis of protein and other compounds, and this is taken in the form of inorganic nitrate and nitrates. Next part is heterotropic nutrition. Heterotropic nutrition Heterotropic nutrition is done in heterotropic organisms. There are three types of heterotropic nutrition. First, some organisms break down the food material outside the body and then absorb it. Examples are fungi like bread mold, yeast, mushroom. Second type of heterotropic nutrition is organisms take food inside their body and then digest it or break down into simpler form. Third type of heterotropic nutrition is some organisms derive their nutrition from plants and animals without killing them. So this type of nutrition is called parasitic nutrition, and these are used by different organisms like cuscuta, that is amerbell, ticks, lice, leeches, and tapeworms. Now, how do organisms obtain their nutrition? First, as you know, organisms are unicellular and multicellular. First, we'll see how nutrition process takes place in unicellular organism like amoeba and paramecium. Here, figure 5.5 shows nutrition in amoeba. First, amoeba finds its food, that is food particle. Then, around the food particle, pseudopodia, that is false legs, are formed. Then, food vacuole is created and food is taken inside the body. Then, this food is digested in cytoplasm, and after this waste material is transported towards the periphery, and then afterwards it will be removed outside the body. These steps takes place in amoeba for nutrition purpose. In paramecium, the cell has definite shape and food is taken in at specific spot. Food is taken at specific spot by the movement of cilia, which covers the entire surface of cells. So this is only the difference. Amoeba goes towards the food particle, paramecium takes food particle at some fixed point and then taken inside the body, and then it is digested. Now, nutrition in human being. Nutrition is human being is done by alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is basically long tube which extends from mouth to anus. It has different parts or different regions or different organs. They perform different functions. Here, the figure of human alimentary canal is shown, and it has different parts are also shown. Now, we will see how nutrition process takes place in human being. First, we'll study different parts of human alimentary canal. First, mouth, then esophagus, then stomach, then pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. First, food is taken in mouth, where it is crushed by teeth. As we know, this alimentary canal has soft lining, so food should be smooth and crushed into smaller particles. By means of tongue, food is moved in all the parts of mouth. As you know, mouth has salivary glands. Salivary gland secretes saliva, and this saliva is mixed in the food and makes it soft. The food is converted into soft and simpler particles by means of some biological catalysts, that is enzymes. Salivary gland secretes saliva, and saliva contains enzyme called salivary amylase, which break down starch into complex molecule to simple sugar. Then the food is mixed thoroughly with saliva and moved around the mouth while chewing by the muscular tongue. Then it is transferred to stomach through food pipe, that is esophagus. To move food in esophagus, peristaltic movements occurs along the lining of canal. As you know, this canal is made up of muscles that contracts rhythmically, and this create peristaltic movement. Then in stomach, different digestive juices different digestive juices are mixed in the food. The digestion in stomach is taken care by gastric glands. These gastric glands releases hydrochloric acid and protein digesting enzyme like pepsin and mucus. The hydrochloric acid creates acidic medium which facilitates the action of enzyme pepsin. Now, what is the work of mucus? Mucus protects the inner lining of stomach from the action of acid. Then, exit of food from the stomach is regulated by sphincter muscle, which releases this food in small intestine. From the stomach, the food is enters to small intestine. Small intestine is longest part of the alimentary canal. It is about 6.5 meter long and it is coiled. In small intestine, the complete digestion of carbohydrates, protein and fat takes place. Small intestine receives secretions of liver and pancreas for doing complete digestion. The food from the stomach is acidic, but it has to be made alkaline for pancreatic enzyme to act. For this purpose, to make food alkaline, liver secretes bile juice, or we can say bile salts. Bile salt break down into smaller globules. Bile salt acts on fats or large globules of fats and convert them into smaller one. Then the pancreas secretes pancreatic juices which contains enzyme like pepsin. Pancreas secretes enzyme like trypsin and lipase for breaking down fats. The wall of small intestine contains gland that secretes intestinal juice. And finally, conversion takes place. Protein is converted into amino acid, complex carbohydrate is converted into glucose, fats converted into fatty acid and glycerol. Now, digested food is taken up by the wall of intestine. The inner lining of small intestine has numerous finger-like projection called villi. Villis are formed by blood vessels which take absorbed food to each cell and every cell of the body. Villi transport the food or energy to every cell of the body. Where there may be a building up new tissues or repair of old tissues takes place. The unabsorbed food is sent to the large intestine. In large intestine, if any water is there, it is absorbed from the waste material, and then the rest material is the biological waste which is harmful to the body, which is removed from the body via anus. The exit of this waste is regulated by anal sphincter. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will study second life process, that is respiration. As you know, respiration is the process of acquiring oxygen from outside the body and to use it in the process of breakdown of food sources for cellular needs. It's called as respiration. Means here in respiration, oxygen from the outside body is acquired in the body and it is used to break down food sources which are required for cellular needs. That is, chemical reactions takes place. These chemical reactions takes place in presence of oxygen and in absence of oxygen. So when reactions takes place in presence of oxygen, this is called aerobic respiration. When reaction takes place in absence of oxygen, it is called anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, glucose breakdown completely results in oxidation. In anaerobic respiration, the glucose molecules breaks incompletely. The product formed for aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide, water and energy. For anaerobic respiration, the product formed are ethyl alcohol, lactic acid, carbon dioxide and energy released. Aerobic respiration takes place in both plant and animal cells. Anaerobic respiration takes place in anaerobic bacteria, yeast and human muscle cell. Hello friends, in this video we will study respiration reaction. There are three respiration reaction takes place. One reaction takes place in yeast, one reaction takes place in muscular cell and third reaction takes place in mitochondria. For all three respiration reaction, the reactants are glucose. They are glucose are the complex molecule. They are broken down into pyruvate. This reaction takes place in cytoplasm. Then pyruvate is again broken down to form different products, and pyruvate is broken down in absence of oxygen, when there is lack of oxygen, and when there is presence of oxygen. When there is absence of oxygen, pyruvate is broken down into ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus energy is released. So this reaction takes place in yeast. Second, pyruvate is broken down into lactic acid plus energy when there is a lack of oxygen. This reaction takes place in muscular cells. Third reaction, pyruvate acid is broken down into carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. And this reaction takes place in mitochondria. Already we have studied, when there is absence of water, we can say this is anaerobic respiration. When there is a presence of oxygen, we can say it is aerobic respiration. So this way, respiration reaction takes place. So by this reaction, you understand the thing that how oxygen is important to live the life. Because when pyruvate acid is broken down in presence of oxygen, carbon dioxide, water and energy is released. These products are formed. But when there is lack of oxygen or absence of oxygen, ethanol is formed, lactic acid is formed. So ethanol is nothing but it is alcohol. So this figure shows breakdown of glucose by various pathways. Now everywhere here energy is written. That energy is used by organism for doing the maintenance process or for continuing the life processes. Hello friends, in this video we will study when one glucose molecule is decomposed, how much ATPs are generated. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. It is energy currency of living organism. So we have learned during respiration reaction that after every reaction energy is released. So that energy is nothing but ATPs, and that energy is used by organisms for life processes. Now, one glucose molecule, it is decomposed in two pyruvates. Two pyruvates. When decomposition of this glucose molecule takes place, two ATPs are used. That's why minus 2 ATP. Now, when this reaction takes place, two ATPs are formed and one NADH molecule is formed. NADH is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It is also energy molecule. Then pyruvate acid is again broken down into acetyl coenzyme. This reaction releases one NADH molecule. Then acetyl coenzyme A goes further TCA cycle, that is tricarboxylic acid cycle, and done the series of chemical reactions. And from these chemical reactions, these are the energies generated. That is, three molecules of NADH is generated. One molecule of FADH2 is generated. FADH2 means flavin adenine dinucleotide. This is also energy molecule. And one ATP is generated. Now, this is for one reaction of pyruvate. Same things were generated for this pyruvate molecule. Now, one NADH molecule is equal to 3 ATP. These are the conversion. One NADH molecule is equivalent to 3 ATP. One FADH2 molecule is equivalent to 2 ATPs. So we'll count the number of ATPs generated during this whole process. That is decomposition of glucose, one glucose molecule. First minus 2 ATP, then 2 ATPs are generated, one reaction, two reaction, that's why these 2 into 2, 4. Here, one NADH molecule is generated, but reactions are 2, 1, 2, that's why 2. And one NADH is equal to 3 ATPs, so 2 into 3 is equal to 6. So in first reaction, total minus 2 plus 4 plus 6, that is 8. 8 ATPs are generated, and this reaction is called as glycolysis. This reaction is called as glycolysis. Then, in this reaction, one NADH molecule is generated. This one NADH plus this one NADH, that is 2 into 1 NADH is equal to 3 ATPs. So 2 into 3, 6. So in this reaction, there are 6 molecules generated. This reaction is called link reaction. Pyruvate acid decomposed to acetyl coenzyme A. So this reaction is link reaction. Now acetyl coenzyme A again goes for TCA cycle, that is tricarboxylic acid cycle, or Krebs cycle also it is called. So now in this reaction, in this Krebs cycle, the product generated 3 NADH. So 3 NADH here, 3 NADH here. 3 plus 3, 6 into 1 NADH is equal to 3 ATP. 6 3s are 18. 1 FADH2 here generated, 1 FADH2 here generated. So 1 plus 1, 2 into 1 FADH2 is equal to 2 ATP. So 2 into 2, 4. And 1 ATP is generated here, 1 ATP generated here. So 2 into 1 is equal to 2. That is 18 plus 4 plus 2, 24. Now count all ATPs. So 8 plus 6, 14, 14 plus 24, 38. So we can say one glucose molecule is equal to 38 ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. So one glucose molecule, when decomposes, it generates 38 ATP energy. Thank you. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will study Krebs cycle. It is also known as citric acid cycle or TCA, that is tricarboxylic acid cycle. It is the series of chemical reaction that takes place in the mitochondria, resulting in the oxidation of acetyl coenzyme, and it releases carbon dioxide and hydrogen atom. Later, it is converted in water. So it is a cyclic process. Series of reactions takes place, and as a product of reaction, ATPs are generated. They are in the form of NADH molecule, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It is energy molecule. FADH2, that is flavin adenine dinucleotide molecule. This is also energy molecule, and other byproducts like carbon dioxide, water is generated, and sometimes ATP is also generated. But ATP is generated in the form of GTP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate and GTP is guanosine triphosphate. ATP and GTP are both nucleotide molecules. that serve as energy carrier in the cell, or we can say energy currency of the cell. Now, acetyl coenzyme A first reacts with oxaloacetate in presence of citrate synthase and forms citrate. Then citrate reacts with aconitase enzyme and form isocitrate. Isocitrate reacts with the enzyme isocitrate dehydrogenase and form alpha ketoglutarate. And during this reaction, one CO2 molecule is released, one NADH molecule is released. So here energy is released. Then alpha ketoglutarate reacts with alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase and form succinyl coenzyme A. And here also one NADH molecule is generated and one CO2 molecule is generated. Succinyl CoA reacts with succinyl CoA synthetase and form succinate. Here one GTP molecule is generated. GTP means guanosine triphosphate. It is as equal to ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Then succinate reacts with succinate dehydrogenase and forms fumarate. Here one FADH2 molecule is generated. This FADH2 molecule is FADH2 means flavine adenine dinucleotide. This is also energy molecule. Then fumarate react with enzyme fumarase and form malate. Malate reacts with the enzyme malate dehydrogenase and form oxaloacetate. And then again oxaloacetate reacts with acetyl coenzyme A and forms citrate. And the process continues. That is oxidation of acetyl coenzyme A. So this is the Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle is the oxidation of acetyl coenzyme A to release energy and to release carbon dioxide and hydrogen. Later it is converted into water. So product formed in whole reaction are one ATP molecule, that is GTP in the form of GTP, 3 NADH molecules, 1 FADH2 molecules and 2 CO2 molecules. So one acetyl coenzyme molecule oxidizes, then these products are formed. And this is what related with the Krebs cycle. Hello friends, points to remember. Aerobic respiration pathway depends on oxygen. So aerobic organism should ensure that there should be sufficient intake of oxygen. In plant, exchange of gases takes place through stomata, stem, roots and all other parts. They are in contact with air. Carbon dioxide and oxygen are exchanged by diffusion process. You know, diffusion means movement of molecule from higher concentration region to lower concentration region. See here, at night when there is no photosynthesis occurring, CO2 elimination is major exchange activity going on in plant. During daytime there is photosynthesis process, so oxygen is released. This is the major event. Terrestrial animals can breathe the oxygen in the atmosphere, but animals that live in water need to use the oxygen dissolved in water. Amount of dissolved oxygen is fairly low as compared to the amount of oxygen in air. Therefore, the rate of breathing in aquatic organism is much faster than that seen in terrestrial organism. Fishes take in water through their mouth and force it pass through the gills, where the dissolved oxygen is taken up by the blood and used for life processes activities of fishes. Terrestrial organisms use the oxygen in atmosphere for respiration. This oxygen is absorbed by different organs in different animals. All these organs have a structure that increases the surface area which is in contact with oxygen rich atmosphere. The exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide has to taken place across the surface so that this surface is very fine and delicate. In order to protect this surface, it is usually placed within the body. So there have to be passages that will take air to this area. There is mechanism for moving the air in and out of this area where the oxygen is absorbed. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will study human respiratory system. What are the different organs in human respiratory system? The figure is shown on screen. The respiratory tract consists of following parts or following organs. First, external nostrils. They are used for intake of air. Second, nasal chambers. Nasal chamber is lined with hairs and mucus to filter the air from the dust and dirt. Third part is pharynx. It is a passage behind the nasal chamber and serve as common passageway for both air and food. It has flap-like structure which is called epiglottis. Epiglottis prevents the entry of food into the windpipe. Next part is larynx. Larynx is known as sound box as it has vocal cords. Vocal cords are paramount in the generation of sound. Trachea. It is a long tube passing through the mid-thoracic cavity. It maintains the flow of air. Bronchi. The trachea divides into left and right bronchi. Bronchioles. Each bronchus is further divided into finer channels known as bronchioles. Next part is alveoli. The bronchioles terminate in balloon-like structure known as alveoli, where the air is stored. The sucked air, the air which you have taken inside, that will be stored in alveoli. Then lungs. Humans have a pair of lungs which are sac-like structures and covered by double-layered membrane known as pleura. Lung separates oxygen and carbon dioxide from the air, where oxygen is supplied to heart and carbon dioxide is exhaled out to the body. Working of human respiratory system. Same way, air passing through the nostril, it is filtered by fine air, already I have told. Then it passes through pharynx and larynx. Then it goes to the trachea. Then on trachea, you are seeing rings of cartilage. They maintain the flow of air, do not allow collapse of air passage. Then air through the bronchi it passes to the alveoli. These are the sac-like structures where you will be seeing extensive network of blood vessels. As we seen earlier, when we breathe in, we lift our ribs and flatten our diaphragm, and chest cavity becomes larger. Because of this, air is sucked into the lungs and fills the expanded alveoli. So that time ribs are useful. Diaphragm is to divide the structure into two, left lung, right lung. Now, when body size of animal is large, the diffusion pressure cannot take care of oxygen delivery to all parts of the body. For that, body develops respiratory pigments, and respiratory pigments supply blood to the all parts of the body. In human being, the respiratory pigment is hemoglobin, which takes oxygen from the air in the lungs and supply it to all the tissues and cells where there is a deficiency of oxygen. This hemoglobin pigment is present in the red blood corpuscles. Carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than oxygen, and hence is mostly transported in the dissolved form in our blood. This is all about the human respiratory system. Thank you. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will study third life process, that is transportation. Since the food and oxygen are taken up at one place in the body of organism, all other parts of the body needs this atom. So there must be a circulatory system so that it will be reached to all parts of the. So this situation creates need for a circulatory system, that is known as transportation system. Now we will learn transportation system in human beings. In human being, blood transports the food, oxygen and waste material in our body. Blood contains fluid medium, that is plasma. This plasma transports food, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous wastes in dissolved form. Oxygen is carried by red blood corpuscles. Other substances like salts are also transported by blood. So for this, we should need any pumping organ to push blood around the body, and network of tubes which circulates blood to all organs of body or all tissues of body. And sometimes if this circulatory network is damaged, it should be repaired automatically. This organ which pumps the blood is known as heart. Heart is a muscular organ which is as big as our fist. Heart has different chambers because both oxygen and carbon dioxide have to be transported by the blood. The carbon dioxide rich blood has to reach the lungs where carbon dioxide is removed. This process is called oxygenation. oxygenation. This oxygenated blood from the lung is again transported back to the heart, and from the heart this oxygenated blood is circulated to rest of the body. Meaning of this is the removal of carbon dioxide from the blood is done in lungs, and then this blood is sent to or transported to heart. Deoxygenated blood which collected by heart is transported to lungs for oxygenation process. Hello friends, in this video we will study how transportation system works in human being. What is the working of heart? So figure shows sectional view of human heart. It has different chambers like left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, right ventricle. These are separated by septum, network of different arteries and veins connected to it. Now, oxygen rich blood from the lung comes to the left atrium. After this, left atrium relaxes and blood is transferred to left ventricle. The contraction of left ventricle takes place and blood is pumped and circulated to the all parts of the body. The deoxygenated blood from the body comes to the right atrium. Right atrium contracts. When it contracts, the deoxygenated blood is transferred to the right ventricle. After this, deoxygenated blood is pumped to lungs for oxygenation process. Now, since the ventricle have to pump the blood, so they have thicker walls than atrium. Atrium have walls. This wall should work properly so that blood cannot flow backward. This figure shows representation of transport and exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. This side, this is oxygenated blood supplied to the body by means of artery and vein. This side, the blood is collected from the body and sent to the lungs for oxygenation process. So this side is deoxygenated blood side and this side is oxygenated blood side. This is left side of body and this is right side of body. Thank you. Now, points to be remembered. As you see, heart is divided in right side and left side. Because of this, the oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood will not get mixed with each other. This separation is useful for efficient supply of oxygen to the body. This is required for animals that have high energy needs such as birds and mammals. Mammals are the organisms which produces milk. The animals like amphibians and reptiles have three-chambered heart. So there may be some mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. On the other hand, fishes have only two-chambered heart and the blood is pumped to the gills. In gills, blood is mixed with oxygen and then pass directly to the rest of the body. So blood goes only once through the heart in the fish during one cycle of passage through the body. Other animals like human being, blood goes twice through the heart during each cycle. This is known as double circulation. Double circulation takes place in vertebrates. Vertebrate means the animals having vertebral column. Now, blood pressure. The force that blood exerts against the wall of vessel is called blood pressure. The blood pressure is much greater in arteries than veins. Why this is? We'll see in next video. The pressure of blood inside the artery during ventricular contraction is called systolic pressure, and the pressure in artery during ventricular diastole or ventricular relaxation is called diastolic pressure. The normal systolic pressure is 120 millimeter of mercury. Diastolic pressure is 80 millimeter of mercury. Blood pressure is measured with the instrument sphygmomanometer. High blood pressure is called hypertension, and high blood pressure is due to constriction of arterioles. So hypertension leads to the rupture of an artery and internal bleeding. Hello friends, in this video we will study how the pumped blood from the heart is circulated to various organs of the body. This is done by the tubes, or we can say blood vessels. These blood vessels are the network of arteries and veins. Arteries are the vessels which carry blood away from the heart to various organs. As the blood emerges from heart is having high pressure, so arteries have thick walls and elastic walls. On reaching organ, the artery divides into smaller vessels called as capillaries, and that supplies blood to the each and every individual cell. Now, this blood is oxygenated. Deoxygenated blood from all the organs is collected by veins, and veins supply this deoxygenated blood to the heart. As deoxygenated blood is having normal pressure, so veins don't require thick walls, they have thin walls. Now this blood circulatory system leaks. What will happen? This situation comes when there is injury to any organ. It starts bleeding. It will lose the blood from the system. It will lead to loss of pressure, and which leads to reduce the efficiency of pumping system. So to avoid this, blood has platelet cells which circulate around the body, and these cells plug the leaks and clot the blood at the point of injury. So, in other words, the maintenance of this blood circulatory system of arteries and veins is done by platelet cells, and they are the part of blood itself. Now, lymph is another type of fluid which help in transportation. This is called tissue fluid. Through the pores present in the walls of capillary, some amount of plasma, protein and blood cell escape into cellular spaces, and there this tissue fluid is formed, that is called lymph. It is similar to plasma, but it is colorless and it contains less protein. Lymph drains into lymphatic capillaries from the intercellular spaces. Again, it joins to form large lymph vessels. and this large lymph vessel finally opens into veins. Lymph carries digested and absorbed fat from intestine and drains excess fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. So, lymph is the tissue fluid. It is formed in between two tissues and in between two cells. That's why it is intercellular fluid. Hello friends, in this video we will study transportation in plants. Transportation in plant is for transport of waters and minerals absorbed by root. They are transported from root to leaves. Second, the transportation of whatever food material prepared by plant at leaves, that will be transferred to all parts of the plant. This transportation in plant takes place by two different tubes. One is xylem and another is phloem. This is what the structure of xylem and phloem. And here I have shown how movement takes place. Xylem is a vascular tissue that transports water and dissolved minerals absorbed from the root to the rest of the plant. Phloem is a vascular tissue that transports soluble organic compound prepared during photosynthesis from green parts of the plant to the rest of the plant, and some difference point of these two tissues. Already we have studied structure of xylem and phloem in class 9. Now we will study how transport of water takes place. In xylem tissue, vessel and trachea of the root, stem and leaves are interconnected to form continuous system of water conducting channel reaching all parts of the plant. At the root, cells in contact with the soil actively take up ions. This creates a difference in the concentration of these ions between the root and the soil. Therefore, water moves into the root from the soil to eliminate this difference. This is diffusion. This means there is a steady movement of water into root xylem, creating a column of water that is steadily pushed upward. This pressure by itself is unlikely to be enough to move water over the heights that we commonly see in plants. Plants use another strategy to move water in the xylem upward to the highest points of the plant body. This strategy is process of transpiration. Transpiration is the loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial parts of the plant. Transpiration helps in the absorption of and upward movement of the water and minerals dissolved in it from the roots to the leaves. It also helps in temperature regulation. Now we'll see how food and other substances are transported in plant. This transport of soluble products of photosynthesis is called translocation, and this translocation process occurs in phloem. Phloem also transports amino acid and other substances than whatever products formed in photosynthesis. Other substances are specially delivered to the storage organs of root, fruit, seeds, and to growing organs. The translocation of food and other substances takes place in the sieve tubes with the help of adjacent companion cells, both in upward and downward direction. So this is what the structure of xylem, phloem. How the movement is done in xylem and phloem. And this way transportation takes place in plants. In the next video, we will see fourth life process, that is excretion. Thank you. Hello friends, in this video we will learn fourth life process, that is excretion. Already we have learned nutrition, respiration and transportation. In nutrition and respiration, various products are formed. With the products, some byproducts, these are biological wastes, they are also formed. Organism needs to remove this biological waste product from their bodies. The process involved in removal of this harmful biological product, waste product from the body, is called excretion. Different organisms use different strategies to do this. Many unicellular organisms remove this waste by simple diffusion from the body surface into the surrounding water. Multicellular organisms have different excretory systems and different excretory organs involved in that system. Hello friends, in this video we will study excretion in human beings. Human excretory system consists of following components. First, pair of kidneys, pair of ureter, urinary bladder and urethra. Kidneys are located in the abdomen, one on either side of the backbone. That is right kidney, left kidney. Urine produced in the kidney passes through the ureter. Then it is transferred to urinary bladder where it is stored until it is released through the urethra. How urine is produced? The purpose of making urine is to filter out waste product from the blood. First, CO2 is removed from the blood in the lungs. Nitrogenous waste such as urea, uric acid are removed from the blood in the kidneys, and this remain is nothing but urine. Each kidney has filtration unit called nephron. They are closely packed together. Each nephron is associated with cup-shaped end of coiled tube called Bowman's capsule that collects the filtrate. This is the structure of nephron. This is Bowman's capsule. Each kidney has number of these filtration units called nephrons. Some substances in the initial filtrate such as glucose, amino acid, salts and major amount of water are reabsorbed as the urine flows along the tube. Arrow shows the direction of flowing of urine. Amount of water reabsorbed depends on how much water is in the body and how much water body requires. That amount will be absorbed only if there is any extra water in the urine. The urine forming in each kidney eventually enters a long tube, the ureter, which connects the kidney with urinary bladder. In urinary bladder, all the urine is stored until it is passed through urethra. The bladder is muscular, so it is in under control of nervous system. So because of this, we can usually control the urge to urinate. Hello friends, in this video, we will learn excretion in plant. How plant removes waste product from their body. First, oxygen is generated as a waste product during photosynthesis. It will be removed through stomatic pores, through roots, through stem. Excess water will be removed by process of transpiration. Plants use the fact that many of their tissues consist of dead cell and that they can even lose some parts such as leaves. Many plant waste products are stored in cellular vacuoles. Waste product may be stored in leaves that will be fall off. Other waste products are stored as resin and gum, especially in old xylem. Plants also excrete some waste substances into the soil around them. This is all related with the excretion in plant.